Am I the idiot for bailing on a trip with my mother because she called my uncle to come along without telling me? To give a little bit of context, since I'm 18, me and my mom make a vacation trip that happens every year, and it's sort of our little tradition. I left her house when I was 22, but we stayed in touch and kept a very good relationship. We still travel every year, and it became even more special now, because we don't get to stay together as much as we used to, so we use this time to be together. 2 years ago, 2 of my father's aunts asked where we were going on vacation that year, and they would tag along, because our trips look like fun. We are caught by surprise, but my mother gives them the whole itinerary. They end up tagging with us the whole trip and being a nuisance, asking me to carry things around. They don't speak English and don't even try, so they order me around so I get stuff done for them. It was the worst experience, but eventually ended, and we joked that we would never have other people come along. Last year, my uncle, her brother, asked if he could travel with us on our next vacation, because it looked fun. Yeah, you know where this is going. This time it was worse. We got individual rooms, but this time, I had to share the room with my uncle so he could save some money. I live alone, so I'm not used to sharing a house with someone, even worse a room. Same communication issues and some personality ones. They end up fighting from time to time. Siblings, you know, right. By the end of the trip I told my mother that it's okay if she wants to travel with whoever she wants, but I'm not up to it, and would pass next time. This year we are planning a cruise trip and sometime in Europe. On Thursday she told me she had paid her part on the travel agency, and I could send them the money to cover my part. When I talked to them, they asked if I'm a non or an aunt's uncle. My mother had invited my uncle to travel with us again. After knowing that, I said that something came up and would call another day to finish the payment. Today I called my mother and told her that I'm not paying and won't travel this year, because I don't want to repeat the same experience from last year. She started crying, saying he invited himself again, and she couldn't say no, but this time would be different, because in the cruise each one can do whatever they want. Am I the idiot for not wanting to waste my vacation, the only time of the year I'm off work and can enjoy doing things that I like, or just relax, traveling with someone I dislike? And I feel even worse because she didn't even told me. I found out because the agency guy asked me who I were. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. You need to stand your ground and don't let these people take advantage of the tradition that you and your mom starred in. They can travel with their own children. Then the original poster responded with, that would be the case for my father's aunts, but this uncle doesn't have children. He went through 2 marriages and never had a kid. I can tell my mother kinda feels sorry for him. She thinks he is lonely and that's why he wants to come with us. Comment 2. Not the idiot. But your mom sounds like a pushover. If her brother can invite himself, you can disinvite yourself. Your vacation is yours to enjoy, and if you don't set firm boundaries, you're going to be enjoying your vacation with your uncle forever. Then the original poster responded with, can't lie, she is. It's her baby brother, and she thinks he's a lonely dude. That's why he wants to come along. I understand feeling sorry for your brother, but maybe they can plan something for the 2 of them. Now for the update. Had dinner with my mother yesterday, and we straightened things out. Good thing I had therapy a day before, so I was bulletproof to her manipulation. I told her, yet again, how I was feeling neglected and that she overstepped the boundaries I had made. She was really sorry, but both of them already paid and couldn't cancel without losing a considerable sum of money. I told her to enjoy her trip and good luck in the trips to come because I wouldn't tag along anymore, as long as uncle was part of it. Again, she cried a lot and suggested that we have another trip in July, just the 2 of us. That's what I wanted, right? Well, as soon as I listened to the proposal, I didn't quite want to accept it. I'm still feeling betrayed, and more so, the trip that we planned and was preparing for almost 4 months wouldn't be the same. She will go with my uncle and I have to settle for another destination. I didn't say no, yet I'm not that stubborn and really like to travel with her. It's just I still got that bad taste in my mouth, but didn't want to act recklessly. I'm very inclined to travel with her in July. I will just sit on this though for a while. Unfortunately, I can't wait too long, otherwise prices will skyrocket. Thanks for all the feedback and kind words. Hope this shows my relatives that they can't push me around and infiltrate my well-earned vacation. Comment 1. You can ask her rather than July, maybe to reschedule for next year so you have more time to prepare for something more exciting to do with her? Then the original poster responded with, that's a good point. I could really wait for next year instead of doing something that feels rushed. I will put some thought into it. Maybe a little more time is better. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Wow, you sound incredibly entitled and selfish. It's clear that your mother values family and wants to include your uncle in your annual tradition. Instead of being understanding and compassionate, you throw a tantrum and bail on the trip. It's not all about you and your precious alone time. Family is important, and sometimes that means compromising and making sacrifices for the people you love. You should be grateful that your mother wants to spend time with you and your uncle. Instead, you act like a spoiled child who can't handle sharing a room or dealing with minor inconveniences. Grow up and learn to appreciate the relationships in your life. Your behavior is childish and petty. Comment 3. People generally don't change their behavior unless they feel the consequences of that behavior. I'd let her plan and pay for this next supposed trip and see what happens. Then the original poster responded with, I see your point, but since I left her house I don't let her pay anything for me. It's when I finally felt independent. Another Redditor said to make her something like a deposit. I would pay back if no one shows up. Seems like a good idea, but I really want her to understand that we don't need somebody else. If I charge her because someone shows up, it seems like it's a fine to a contract. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot for banning my brother from my wedding? My fiancé, female 31, and I, male 30, are getting married in a couple of months. My brother, male 25, and I have different dads. Mine hasn't been around my entire life. Our mom married his dad when I was 5. The marriage lasted 5 years due to the marriage being forced upon her by my grandparents just because he had a good job, and she didn't love him. During the divorce, my mom started confiding in a coworker who we'll call C. C was also going through a divorce, and they supported each other. After the divorce was final, this will be important later, they dated for a while and then broke up due to C being a psycho stalker, a long story for another time. The issue, a few days ago, my brother was told by someone randomly while at work that knew C, that they dated before the divorce and that was the reason for it. This, of course, isn't true. I remember the whole ordeal and it just didn't happen that way. My brother, however, has taken this news as gospel. Now he's doing everything he can to find proof that it happened. Calling random friends and family who are obviously telling him the truth, but he just doesn't believe them. He's trying so hard to play the victim. Our mom was a good parent. She loved us both equally as she should, and has denied this guy's accusation vehemently to my brother. My brother has this complex of digging his heels in deeper and deeper until he's right. He's supposed to be a groomsman in my wedding, but I don't want any drama or for him to be vindictive because he and his wife got married because she got pregnant. Yes, I know they didn't have to, but they did, and had a courthouse wedding, which they chose to do. So, Reddit, would I be the idiot for booting him from the wedding party and possibly the whole wedding for starting unnecessary drama? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Call your brother and go have a face-to-face talk. Point out that everyone, you, your mother, friends, family, etc. have all given him the same answer. That he either thinks you all are all lying or he refuses to accept the fact that your mother did not cheat on his father, and that her past relationship, which is probably the real issue, is none of his damn business. Either way, if he refuses to drop this, at minimum he's no longer going to be a groomsman, and at most, he and his wife will be completely uninvited from the wedding. After that, let him sink or swim. Comment 2. Not the idiot if he's gonna go off a random stranger's word rather than his entire circle of friends and family. There's nothing you can do about it, but you don't have to have it at your wedding. Now for the update. So after reading through the comments, I thought I'd give an update. First, thank you everyone that commented. This has been a sore spot for me for a while now. I got married 3 weeks ago and I'm the happiest I've ever been. The ceremony was beautiful and we had an amazing time. My brother was not in it, nor did he attend. So, here's what happened. I spoke to my brother about his accusations, and he proceeded to act like nothing happened and that he did nothing wrong. Essentially just trying to brush it under the rug. Over Christmas he, his wife, and my niece came to our mom's house for a little while and the tension was so high that we barely spoke. The day after Christmas, he texted me asking if he and his wife were still invited to the wedding. I told him, "If you can rectify and apologize for the situation with mom, then yes." He then replied with, "Well then we're not going cause I don't have anything to apologize for." This hurt so much, and I haven't talked to him since. I don't know where this is going to go or if I'll ever see my niece outside of holidays again. Again, thank you all so much for your advice. I know it isn't much of an update, but it has been a big weight that I've been slowly getting past since it all happened. Have a great day. Comment 1. I'm sorry it went that way. I'm glad you have been able to find some pieces. There's a quote I once heard that seems to fit your situation. You can't logic a person out of a belief they didn't logic themselves into. Comment 2. A huge indicator of maturity, integrity, consideration for others, and whether or not someone is a good person is whether or not they apologize when asked. Apologizing doesn't mean we think we are 100% wrong or that we need to grovel. It means we are sorry everything got messy, we won't do it again. We know it will help the recipient heal, and it will help mend things and recreate peace again for everyone affected. So to let one's pride get in the way is terribly selfish and immature and hurtful to all affected by the rift. Comment 3. You're the idiot. Your brother is trying to uncover the truth, and instead of supporting him, you banish him from your wedding? It's clear that you're the one causing unnecessary drama here. You're so quick to defend your mom without even considering that she might be hiding something. Maybe she did cheat on his dad with C, and you're just too blind to see it. Your brother has every right to question what he's been told, especially when there are inconsistencies in the story. Instead of shutting him down and excluding him, you should be encouraging open communication and understanding. But no, you'd rather play the victim and create a divide in your family. Congratulations, you just proved that you value your own wedding over your relationship with your brother. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for leaving my family vacation after they forced me and my pregnant wife to sleep in a bunk bed? So just to set the stage, me and my family went on vacation at a location around 8 hours away for a wedding. I have 2 sisters, both are married and one has a 1-year-old kid. My parents rented an Airbnb so my whole family could stay at the same place for 5 days. Check-in is at 4 p.m. Both my sisters and parents get there right on time, but me and my wife, who is 7.5 months pregnant, arrive at the B&B at 4:30 p.m. or so. We start to unload the car and ask where our room is. My mom responds, "You guys get the bunk bed." Me, thinking it was a joke, I say, "Will I get top bunk?" Their response was, "No, actually you get the bunk bed." They were 100% serious. While my 2 other sisters get a room for themselves and their husbands, with queen-size beds, me and my wife get the little kids' room with a bunk bed. Me and my wife don't want to cause a scene and still want to be grateful for my parents paying for our accommodations, so we agree to just give the bed a try for one night and see how it goes. Fast forward to bedtime. Around 12 o'clock we lay down on the bed for the first time. It's as if you're sleeping on a wooden board. It's extremely uncomfortable even for me, which means my wife was in a lot more pain due to her being pregnant. We toss and turn for a couple hours, and finally we both agree to just go sleep on the couch in the living room. It's around 2 a.m. now. The couch is by no means comfortable, but in comparison to the bed it was a lot better. We get a couple hours sleep when my dad wakes up and sees us on the couch and decides to go back to the master bedroom to not disturb us. Again, we don't want to create a scene, so we just go back upstairs and try to get a little more sleep on the bunk bed before everyone wakes up. We get around an hour of the worst sleep I've ever had, and just decide to just wake up and go downstairs, knowing we couldn't do that for a second night. We booked a room at a hotel for a couple more nights to just get past the wedding, then we were going to leave for home. After explaining the situation to my whole family, instead of accepting it or helping us, most of them start getting annoyed, saying that this is just another way for us to distance ourselves from the family. We just sternly say that we already made our decision and they were just going to have to accept it. Now most of my family is irritated at us, saying that we ruined their trip. Am I the idiot? TLDR. My family gave me and my pregnant wife a bunk bed to sleep on for 5 nights while everyone else got queen-size beds. Now they are mad at us for renting a hotel and leaving early. There's no updates, so here's a few comments. Comment 1. This is the easiest not the idiot I've come across. You were given unrealistic accommodations and instead of complaining, you found reasonable ones. If your family wanted you and your wife there that badly, they'd have offered to trade beds with you. Also, if your presence was the make or break for an enjoyable trip, they should have given you the best bedroom. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I can't even, just know. Good for you for looking out for your very pregnant wife, and yourself. I'm old and not pregnant, and if my parents did this I would do the same thing you did. Why would they even book this place knowing that your pregnant wife would have to sleep on a bunk bed? That's next level, OP, sorry. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I have to wonder if this is a regular cycle. They set you up for some kind of obvious failure, then blame you when the obvious failure occurs. But you shouldn't have said, "We've made our decision." That suggests the decision was up for debate. The right answer was a call out of the actual problem. You can't seriously expect someone 7.5 months pregnant to sleep on a bunk bed. We even tried it, and there's just no way. It's great to see you and I wish we could have made the whole trip work, but this is just totally unreasonable. Then the original poster responded with, "I do like the other response you gave. I don't know how that would have gone over. I hope I will do well." We probably let our emotions get the better of us in the response we gave. We were both emotionally exhausted at that point. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.